in where in the wake of the Renukaswamy murder case and after the Supreme Court cancelled his bail, the big news that's coming in is that actor Darshan has been now arrested. He's been taken into custody after the Supreme Court cancelled his bail. That is the big piece of news that's coming in after the Supreme Court dealt that massive blow to actor Darshan. He has now been arrested in the wake of the Supreme Court cancelling his bail. Remember, he was on his way from Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru, and we had accessed those visuals of him moving from Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru after his bail was cancelled. And now the big order that's coming in after the Supreme Court cancelling his bail, Darshan has now been taken into custody in the Renukaswamy murder case. I'm joined by my colleague Harish on the broadcast to get more details. So Harish, finally the actor has been arrested after the Supreme Court's big verdict cancelling his bail.
Yes, just moments ago, the Kamakhipalia police have arrested Darshan from his wife's apartment in Hoskerali in Bengaluru South. Even as we speak, the arrest formalities are currently on, and Darshan will be produced before a court later on in the day, perhaps. But this is the big news coming in. We had shown visuals of Darshan's car crossing the toll plaza at Chamarajanagar, and he had perhaps traveled to a place in Tamil Nadu, after which around noon he set off headed back to Bengaluru. And just a while ago, roughly around 4 o'clock is when he's been formally arrested from his wife's apartment in Hoskerali. The clear-cut verdict from the top brass to the police was very clear that implement the Supreme Court order as soon as possible. 4 people were already arrested, including Pavitra Gowda, the prime accused in this case. Darshan was the big fish here, and he's now been arrested moments ago. And perhaps in a short while from now, all the 7 who've been arrested after their bail cancellation will be produced before the magistrate.
Right. And Harish, as per the previous reports that were coming in, he was in Tamil Nadu and he was wearing a mask. The police asked him to remove his mask, and after which he was identified, and then he was making his way from Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru. Does it seem that there was an attempt to evade the authorities?
No, that seems to be just a travel that's happened in the morning to a fair. That is, remember, he was in Chamarajanagar earlier in the day. And that is a border area, and if you cross the Chamarajanagar border, you land in Tamil Nadu. And he had gone for a cow fair or a horse fair. There is the information that came in. And because he was moving around with a face mask, the police asked him to remove it there, and they figured out his identity. But more importantly, he had informed his lawyers that he would surrender before the police. And the police had started tracking all the numbers of all these 7 accused whose bail was cancelled. And we do understand that around 2 o'clock, the police have had one round of conversation where he told the police that he would be appearing before them and he would surrender. And after which they had increased security and also had sent a team to his wife's apartment, anticipating him to turn up there. And although initially 2 cars that we've shown in the CCTV footage did turn up at his house, in both those cars, Darshan was missing. We understand that he reached the apartment in a different car from the back gate, and as soon as he reached this apartment on the 15th floor in this upscale apartment in South Bengaluru, he was taken into custody. Currently, the arrest procedure on, and in a short while from now, you will see those visuals of the police jeep carrying Darshan out of this Prestige Southridge apartment and perhaps taking him to the court, and then he will be sent to the jail. Now, the question is, would they immediately send him to the Ballari jail? That's where he was lodged before he got a bail, or would the police or the court send him to the Parapanagarara prison? Remember, that's where he was seen having a gala time, having smoking inside the jail, getting a morning tea, chatting and talking to other inmates there, and that had triggered a huge controversy. Would the state still risk sending him there, or would they send him to Ballari jail? That's where he was lodged after the controversy. That's something that we'll have to see. But there is a bit of a logistical and technical issue, because once the court here in Bengaluru starts framing of charges, all these accused have to appear before the judge, and traveling from Bengaluru to Ballari to Bengaluru would be a logistical nightmare for the police. So would they lodge him in any nearby districts, neighboring districts of Bengaluru? That's something that perhaps will become clear as the day progresses.
Right, and Harish, at the same time, as you were pointing out, the optics surrounding this entire case put a huge question mark on the state administration. As you were pointing out, the VIP treatment he got in jail, his foreign travels where he was just enjoying life. In the wake of this, brutal murder case which involved abduction, torture, and then death, the optics also put a huge question mark on the intent of the state administration.
Yes, one, the intent of the state administration was questioned. Second, the bail itself was questioned because remember, let's all recollect that initially he walked out of the prison claiming that he was having a back issue, he needed medical treatment. A few weeks later, he managed to get a regular bail. But the scenes that one witnessed after that was completely opposite to what Darshan and his counsel told the court. He said he had a back issue. He skipped appearances multiple times. And in one such case, he was seen at a film event just the very next day. He did not go to the court saying that he had a back issue. The next day, he's at a film event. Then in the last few months, Ayushman, we've seen him having a gala time in Phuket, finishing the shooting of his next movie, Devil, and perhaps completing the dubbing of that as well. And that had triggered a lot of anger among people, saying, how is it that somebody who was involved in such a brutal murder not just managed to walk out of jail with a bail? He had also given wrong reasons. How did the court accept it? One, the state had a grouse that the Karnataka High Court, which was hearing the bail application, started talking about the merits of the case and the kind of evidence that was gathered. The state felt that would have an adverse effect on the trial court's decision in that particular case. Remember, the trial court is still hearing this case. So, but eventually it's the Supreme Court which has not just expressed its displeasure about the kind of VIP treatment that he's got inside the jail, but also had some very stern and harsh words to say in the way the Karnataka High Court gave the bail and the grounds on which they gave bail.
Absolutely. And talking about the Supreme Court's scathing observation, the Supreme Court strongly criticized the High Court's bail order, saying it appeared more like a final verdict than a temporary relief. The bench also raised concerns on whether the High Court follows a similar approach in other bail matters. The top court also strongly emphasized that no VIP treatment will be tolerated regardless of the celebrity status, saying all accused must be treated equally under the law. And on that note, I'm joined by Ananya Bhatnagar on the broadcast. So Ananya, when it comes to the modalities of the High Court bail that was granted to Darshan, the Supreme Court completely tearing into that order.
Well, that is exactly scathing, but we've just accessed the order copy as far as the Darshan's case is concerned, and there is a lot that has been stated by the Supreme Court. In fact, going on to say that influence, resources, and social status cannot be a firm basis for granting bail where there is a genuine risk of prejudice to investigation. Very importantly, Ayushman, the Supreme Court goes on to say that Darshan enjoys a celebrity status, mass following, political clout, and financial muscle. His conduct inside the jail, including recorded instance of VIP treatment, violations of jail rules, and registered FIRs for misuse of facilities, reflects his capability to defy the system even while in custody. In fact, immediate return to social events, sharing of stages, prosecution witnesses, and continued influence over police witnesses despite being on bail established that his liberty is a threat to the integrity of the proceedings. The Supreme Court says that celebs serve a social role as a social role model, and accountability is much greater in nature.
Absolutely, and as you can see, those are the visuals coming in from Darshan's home. So clearly security has also been increased, and as more and more people gather, this passage as well that you've shared, Ananya, is also quite startling when it comes to the Supreme Court observation. The Supreme Court says that the Darshan case verdict when it comes to celebrities and misconduct by jail authorities is an example for all high courts and jail officials across the country. By treating accused number 2 and his stature as a mitigating factor, the High Court committed a manifest perversity in the exercise of its discretion. That is a very scathing remark, even saying that the template that the High Court followed in granting bail to Darshan is something not only every other High Court should be aware of, that they should not cross that red line when it comes to their judicial discretion, but also saying that there should be a directive to jail superintendents across the country when it comes to this modus operandi of giving VIP treatment to celebrities like Darshan.
Well, absolutely, and that is what exactly the Supreme Court has said. And in fact, a clear warning coming in by way of the order, very clearly saying that the day we come to know that accused persons are provided with some special or five-star treatment within the jail premises, the first step in the process will be to place the jail superintendent under suspension, including all the other officials involved in such a misconduct. Not only that, the order also goes on to say that the allegations of witness tampering are well-founded, the forensic evidence is compelling in nature, and absolutely what it has been said about Darshan is something that is scathing and very clearly saying that, Darshan enjoys a celebrity status, having a political clout, and when he's inside the jail, he's taking a VIP treatment. Then what would happen when he's out?
Absolutely. And Ananya, now what's the road ahead now that he's been taken into custody? Now clearly the case will continue in this case, but given the optics of this entire case and the Supreme Court's scathing observation regarding the bail order that was given by the High Court, what's the road ahead now?
Well, now he'll be inside the jail. The trial would continue before, in fact, the district court there in Karnataka, and then a judgment would actually follow. But this verdict of the Supreme Court might be a big roadblock as far as any relief to actor Darshan is concerned now, at least in the next following weeks, because this is, in fact, a scathing, order that we had access to for our viewers at CNN News 18. And even with the bare reading of merely 5 to 7 pages, I can tell you that this is an order that completely goes on to snub the case on, in fact, its face by actor Darshan, and completely going on to say that, there have been well-founded allegations of witness tampering that have happened in this particular case itself.
Absolutely, and we'll continue to track all the developments coming in when it comes to this big update that's coming in the Renuka-Swamy murder case, where actor Darshan has now been arrested. But the order copy that has been accessed of the Supreme Court's observation when it comes to the bail order that was given by the High Court, it's a scathing observation when it comes to the conduct surrounding celebrities and the entire tango of jail authorities and the judiciary, and how they treat high-profile individuals who have been accused of serious crimes. We will continue to track all the developments coming.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC TV 18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV 18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV 18 on all the social media platforms.